Hello, BookTube. I'm Peg, the book prize addict, and it's been a while since I've come on and talked about book prizes. I've confided in a few of you that I've kind of got a little tired of the normal book prizes that I used to love so much for I don't know how many years, I hate to say, 30-something. I've been following the Booker and the National Book Award and all the biggies, and they used to, it seems to me like, have the best books, ones I hadn't heard of before. Of course, I wasn't on BookTube then, or didn't even have the web to look at, but I've just been kind of disappointed, and as I've heard other people talk, in the big book prizes lately. And so I was just trying to think, what do I want to do? And I have to tell you, I have begun to find all kinds of minor book prizes that are just as thrilling to me as the big ones used to be. A lot of them are in England, I might say. Some of them are sponsored by a university, and they have their professors there be the judges. I think that who the judges are has a lot to do with the quality of books we have. So anyway, I've got a list of 15 or 20 book prizes that I'm going to start probably soon or the new year on, call it book prizes you probably haven't heard of, and just follow some of those, read what I want to out of them, and talk about them. So we'll see how that goes. Now, right now, I'm waiting for Steve Donahue to publish his best books of the year. He does like 14 or 15 days, and I think it starts on December 1st. So he better hurry home from his vacation in Vermont, and hopefully he's already got his prize ready. I make a little tradition of every day when his different prizes come out, I rush to the different libraries and try to collect them all and talk about them. So I told Steve, got gas in my car, I'm ready to rush to the libraries. I'll talk more about that later. I think it starts December 1st though. Okay, so I saw a prize just today that I thought I really need to talk about this and get back in the practice of talking about books. And this prize comes out in the Literary Review, a very literary type magazine. I've seen it before, but I never really realized where it was. It's called the Bad Sex in Fiction Award. And I've given you the link to the magazine itself and its article on it. And it's not really what you think. It's not for pornographic or erotic literature. They make a point to say that. It's for the most astoundingly awful scene of sexual description in an otherwise good novel. So these are novels that are like not R-rated or X-rated, but they just have something that somebody found, as they say, downright cringeworthy. Okay, I think maybe they're going to be naming more, because if you read the article, they name 4 that they say have been picked so far, and a couple also rans. And I'm not going to read the cringeworthy comments or, quotes to you. You can look at that and read those yourself, but I just going to quickly go over the 4 books that they've picked so far. The first one is by an Irish author, Mary Costello, called River Capture. This has been talked about for other mainstream awards, so it can't be too bad. And in fact, I have it on order. It gets here tomorrow, but I wanted to talk about it today, so I will. I'm going to probably have trouble showing these. I've forgotten the best angle, but anyway, this is, as I said, by an Irish author, and it's about an Irish man who retreats to a quiet life in Irish countryside. He's given up on love and relationships and turns to books for solace. That got me there. I always like to hear about people turning to books for solace, but actually, a young woman arrives, and it goes from there. So I can see where they could get the scene in, a sex scene maybe. Okay, next we have a beautiful cover. And this is called Office of Gardens and Ponds. I have not heard of this, and I don't think it's been published in the U.S. yet. But it takes place 1,000 years ago in Japan, and it has to do with carp catcher, a carp fisherman catcher. That's carp, I believe, on the front there. And there's some sort of tradition where he takes buckets of carp, great carp, to the imperial palace every year, and somehow he drowns and he can't make it, the carp guy, the main carp guy, and he sends his wife instead, where they never had a woman go on this trip to the imperial palace. So she goes to take the carp. So I guess she gets in some sort of adventure on that. Okay. As I said, I don't think it's out yet here, but I'd like to read it. Okay, next we have one you've probably heard of, Elizabeth Gilbert's City of Girls. She also wrote, what was it called? Eat, Pray, and Love, and another one that she have been quite popular. This one is a love story set in the New York City theater world in the 1940s. And the USA Today calls it intimate and richly sensual, razzle-dazzle with a hint of danger. I think that's in my library. I've seen that. I might get that and try it. Okay. And lastly, of the ones they've decided on so far, is called The Electric Hotel by Dominic Smith. And this is a historic novel that takes place in Los Angeles with an former film director who lives in the famous Knickerbocker Hotel and goes out in the Los Angeles hills and collects mushrooms every day, kind of lives on selling these fancy mushrooms. Real strange, actually. I have this one checked out from my library, and I've read a little bit of it, and it looks like it's very going to be quite interesting. Anyway, so there's something about a lost masterpiece of a film, celluloid type film, that plays into this that he's aware of. And the Washington Post calls this irresistible and dizzying, a tale of early cinema. I like books about Los Angeles, so that should be good too. As I said, I can see my library has it, but it's not open today. Okay, there's just one more. They have things that they considered that didn't quite make it, and there's one book that I know you've heard of if you've looked at book prizes at all. It's called Frankenstein by Jeanette Winterson. It was, I believe, on the Booker even shortlist, and had sort of an innovative type book. And I think I have it. I actually have it, but I can't find it this morning. Okay, so I'm on my way to Thanksgiving dinner. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. You notice I have my pumpkin necklace, and I'm all ready to go. After this, we'll be getting into Christmas wear. So, okay, hope you all have a good day. It's good to be back and talk about books. Bye.